Hey guys, it's Michelle. I'm back. Um, there was like a weird break, but I'm back. This week was the fourth anniversary, but the fifth season. You guys know the story. Started it fresh out of the psych ward. Um, and here we are. Like, there's a set now, like lights, camera, not really action, but there is this partially eaten cake that I got to celebrate that my guest ate. My guest this week was Quay. If you've listened to this show, you know Quay. I'm gonna move that out of the shot. But if you've watched the show, you know Quay. Great producer, great guy, great dad. One of my like closest friends. And we talked about inner child work, but I like the way we did it because we mostly just talked about what we liked as kids. So this is like a really good nostalgia 90s meets mental health meets me trying to get Steven to participate, but he didn't want to. So with that being said, stay on top of your mental health. Don't take any wooden nickels. Thank you so much to every person. Even if you've only listened to one episode, thank you for that. Um, Echa Palante. Here's the show. Okay, so welcome. It's a special occasion. If I can get the lighter to work.
Are those that Snoop Dogg lighter? The easy
It's
little.
from Dollar Tree.
Oh.
But it is, well, this week is the 4-year anniversary of the show, but there were no fours at the store. So it is the fifth season, but this is a cake to celebrate it. And I can do stuff like this now because we're on video, but I don't eat cake. So
Yeah, I'm probably gonna smash that.
I'm just going to blow out the candle and Quay's going to eat the cake.
All right, so let's go.
Yay! Oh my god, so it just hit me earlier that this is like a full circle thing that you'd be here for this because Quay used to be my engineer and he's been on here like hella times and you've literally made every opening sequence I've had until the one I have now.
Yeah. Michelle, shout out to the opening sequence to that one. That sounds really good.
Thank you. This guy named Katsu made it.
I think I know Kazu. I think I know him.
He's like a little kid.
Like your nephew's age?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've seen him around before.
Yeah. Yeah, he's affiliated, whatever. But so how does it feel? Because you were saying like you can see the growth.
Yeah, I definitely like seeing the growth and everything, especially like where you've like been and everything.
Because you were there like cell phone days.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I was recording on my
like on the cell phone, yeah, man. And it's so awesome to see like putting everything, not even just the podcast, but everything else, like, with your like sense and everything. It's really like, inspiring to see somebody like local, especially somebody I know, like just following their dreams and stuff. Cause I feel like everybody needs to do that. I'm trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like getting there. I know that it's like come a long way, but it only hits me when it's like milestones like this. That I'm like, damn, like I could never even have a cake before.
And then you see how fast it's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think when I came, I think Sage was just a little baby.
I was just
saying Sage was just a little baby.
He was literally like a baby, like a baby that you could hold like this.
Yeah. He wasn't even like talking. Just now he's
offering meatballs. He offered me meatballs Saturday. He was like, he took a bite out of it. It was like, here, do you want to try it? No,
he loves trying to feed other people, man.
Okay, so Sage, inner child. That's our theme this week.
Yeah.
Tell me about your inner child journey.
Honestly, my inner child, it sums up to like a lot of things, like mostly Kansas, because that's where I'm from. And when my parents were in the army, that's how they met, and they had to go to Desert Storm like maybe like 3 or 4 months after I got born. So I like was raised by my grandparents, like for the first year, and for the past 20 years, I was going there back and forth for like 20 years, just hanging with my grandparents and stuff, and like a lot of that stuff is still nostalgic to me because I like have like a lot of like memories back there. So
Yeah.
a lot of I feel like there's like I even got Kansas like tatted on me, so it's just like it's
You
like
have a Kansas tattoo?
yeah, yeah. It's not done yet, but
No, but that's definitely Kansas.
yeah, it's not done yet. I want to put like a little heart in it and maybe like a blue
Oh,
outline.
you should put a heart where your town is.
Yeah, and I know it's funny because the county is, it's like where my vein is. So
That's gonna hurt like hell,
yeah,
but you should still do it. So, what part of Kansas are you from?
Junction City.
What part of Kansas is the Wizard of Oz? Or do they never
Um,
specify?
no, I want to say it's Hutchinson. It's like one of those. It's like one of those small towns that's like maybe an hour, like maybe 30 minutes away. Because Junction City is an hour away from Topeka, and Kansas City is 2 hours away from Junction City. So
Okay. Because yeah, you're the only person that's ever like been like, oh, Dorothy, like up there. Because usually people think my obsession with the Wizard of Oz is like weird or childish.
no, man, I use that. I definitely use some of that in like some bars. So I have a lot of
I mean, you're
respect
literally
for that.
not in Kansas anymore.
Oh no, I'm reminded every day. But aside of I feel like Atlanta is definitely like my childhood home too, because like that's like how I made all my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I was there when the Falcons like went to the Super Bowl for the first time, and they had that parade there. Like that was detrimental for me because my mom took me out of school for that. So
Aw.
yeah, she was like, "Hey, we're not going to school today. We're going to the parade. Come on." I was like, "Okay."
Kevin has a story like, well, it's not like that, but he's like, he cried when they lost.
Oh.
I was like, well, you guys lose a lot. But, yeah, so my inner child is like, I think I like lost, okay, like, how do I say? I think I like lost her for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that was kind of like a missing link in my whole like mental health journey.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, for
When
real.
we get to, even when you say like inner child, some people are like, this bitch is weird.
It's honest. It's kind of like saying like you're trying to be the person that maybe you'd want to be, like your 15-year-old self would want to be, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a whole inner child playlist.
Yeah, and that's why when I texted you earlier this morning, listen to the stuff that you listened to like in your senior year of high school, because a lot of the stuff that came out, it was like 2008. So graduation was like pretty much like the whole theme of our graduation class. Seeing Sounds came out. I think Cool Kids dropped some shit and like
you
packed
had an amazing
dude,
senior
like,
year
and
soundtrack.
you know what's crazy? All the music that like I'm like making now or trying to create now was like basically some of the stuff I was listening to like when I was younger.
My senior year, I was not listening to rap at all because what was out was like Travis Porter.
Wait, yeah, 2010, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so that
was
was like
like-
Waka and like Travis
Oh,
Porter
it
and all
was
that.
God awful. So I'm trying to think because my inner child playlist goes from like the. So I always ask like people, what is the first song you remember like knowing, and mine is "Creep" by TLC. That's like the first time I can remember like knowing a song, like
Yeah.
being able to like sing along with a song, which
I
should.
think my first song that I remember, it probably shouldn't have been this, was it was a Snoop Dogg song. It was probably the whole Doggy Style soundtrack because
Wow.
my uncle was I want to say my uncle was like 14, 15 when I was like 4. So he was like really into like West Coast rap, and he would just have his CDs play, and like the first song that I like remember was like Gin and Juice, or like his version of like Lottie Dottie, because I remember how like the West Coast sounds like with the little whine and the bass and stuff. So that's like the first like
That's why
song
you're
I
always
remember.
posting stuff about Eazy-E.
Yeah, like
Okay, I was trying to think of that. I was like, why does he love Eazy-E so much?
It's like a lot of like old rappers like Phife Dawg from A Tribe Called Quest,
Rest in
MCA from Beastie Boys, and Easy E and like I all of those I try to put that like into
Rest in
my
peace,
music.
Easy.
Yeah, I put that a lot of all of because those are like just early influences that I
Mm-hmm.
had.
Yeah. So like, I'm trying to think like, other than that, what was like the first songs I remember as a kid? They're all on that playlist. There's like 200 songs in there, but it goes from there all the way up until I was like 17, 18. But by that time, I was not really listening to rap anymore because I hated all of like Travis Porter, like you said, Waka Flocka.
Yeah.
Who else? Who's that guy? I can never think of his name. It was like his voice was like na 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 na. Like all his stuff sounded like that. You know what I'm talking about? He has a song with Big Sean. Is he? Is that him? Roscoe Dash.
Roscoe Dash. I remember him.
Yeah. I
Travis
hate.
Porter and Roscoe Dash ain't the same person. They're not part of the
No,
same.
Travis Porter is three people.
Okay, I knew that, but Roscoe Dash is completely separate from them.
Is I don't know. Is Roscoe Dash?
They were kind of cool.
But they're not. Are they
I
in
don't think they
the?
were the same thing.
Oh, okay.
All of that shit sounded like the same to me, and I was just like disgusted.
No,
So.
honestly, that's like around that time. That's when like I was probably listening to like the maybe like the Tyler the Creators and like the NRK and shit like that. Cause
Yeah,
and a
I was
lot of
listening to my friends rap or rap. Jeez, I really don't think 17. I'm really trying to put myself there. I was listening to like Fiona Apple, like sad white women. Fiona Apple.
Oh no, that was the
Regina
time that was the time for that
Spektor.
because I think Adele was popping off around that
I
time
was
too.
into. I don't like Adele now, but I liked her a lot then. I was gonna say Amy Winehouse, but that was more so when I was like 15. But yeah, so a big part of my inner child thing is like the music, but also like doing stuff that I like to do when I was little,
Yeah,
which was like listen to music and write in my journal and be in water and just I was like a pretty serious kid. But I've noticed as I was serious because of like the circumstances of my childhood.
no, I got you.
But like as I've gotten older, I've gotten more like playful.
Yeah,
But I think that's inner child work too.
yeah, for sure it is. It's kind of like once you hit like your maybe 20s and like between 20 and 23 is like when it kind of starts to fade because like real life kind of hits. You just graduated
Yeah.
high school and stuff. It's like between like 19 and like 23 you're hitting like this little stage. It's like
You're like a grown kid.
yeah, basically like transitioning from like a teenager to like a young adult.
Right.
And like sometimes like your inner child gets lost and all that.
Mine for sure did. Maybe it was the fucking drugs, but I don't know. Like that's when I started to lose her. Then I came back to her when I stepped away from like the partying and all that stuff because it was like there was nothing there
Yeah.
but to go back.
Right.
Which could be a trauma response. I'll ask my therapist, but I don't know. Like I have like a picture of me when I was two pictures of me when I was little. I always have even in our bedroom I have like pictures of me when I was little. I'm always doing something for little Mimi and stuff.
Yeah. And it's funny because since I have Sage, it's like since I have Sage, like I honestly like and coming from my parents and how they've seen him, I pretty much act exactly like how he did, how he's acting now. So it's easy for me to pinpoint like what probably makes him tick, what doesn't make him sick, and everything. Cause
And y'all's birthdays are like
yeah, his is August 14th. I'm the 17th, so we're just like he's 3 days apart. It's really crazy because he likes all of the things that I be showing him. It's just like he's in love with it. Like the first time I showed him Space Jam, like I don't know how old you were when Space Jam came out, but
4.
that was the hypest movie that like probably to a kid that you can probably like be. And I seen him showing it to him, and I seen that same excitement for him, and I was just like, oh, so this is what this is supposed to be like.
Do you know what's weird? Okay, were you at the party when Fly Like an Eagle played? Was I talking to you?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember Space Jam at all. I just remember the soundtrack because Fly Like an Eagle. I was 4 years old, okay?
Yeah.
But like when that song would come on, I would feel like obviously I did not know the word transcendent, or anything like that. But I would get this like feeling of like, damn, like I don't know what he's talking about. But
I
Seal
was
was
like, nah,
like,
but this is feeling in your soul, bro.
yeah,
Like, hey, man, kids be like, they're a lot smarter than you think.
oh
They
yeah,
feel everything.
yeah. But like, so it's like that song, and then I hate to say it in this climate, but I mean, I believe I can fly. Like,
Nah, we can I can admit it's a banger. I
it,
personally think that somebody should just buy his catalog and just parody all of his songs or somebody else sing it.
a lot of his songs are already parodies. I love that we're not saying his name.
The one who will not be spoken.
Yeah. um, I mean, like Hair Braider is already a parody to me.
Really? Mm, I don't think I heard that before.
It's like
I'm not really into like.
Hair Braider. I'm fucking my hair braider. See what I'm saying? Like that's already like.
Yeah.
Why would you write that? Yeah, but
What was your favorite childhood movie? Like the movie that like had the most the VCR plays.
Friday. That's a common theme of this show is me reminding the listeners like I didn't have like so I didn't grow up with other kids really. Like,
Yeah, because all your brothers and sisters are older.
they're when I was born they were grown.
Yeah.
Well, my sister was 16 and she was the youngest.
Yeah.
So that's why today he posted a picture of Mickey Mouse's nemesis.
Pete. Yeah, Pete's a cat.
And I was like, who is that? And he was like, what do you mean you don't know who this? I was like, I've never seen.
So
that
you never
character.
seen like Goof Troop or anything like that?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's like Goofy has like his own show in Disney. Like they gave him like his own show, like Max and his son, and that's pretty much where the premise of the Goofy movie came from.
I don't think I've ever seen the Goofy movie. That's when I'm like,
That's one of the movies that.
that's
You
why I'm like a lot
definitely
of
need
my
to watch.
inner child shit I find now. I'm like, oh, I really shouldn't have been watching that. Like Friday, Goodfellas, Dead Presidents. You know that movie?
Oh yeah, I know that Presidents. Hey, like it
That
could
was
be
a
worse. I
big
think
part of my
my
childhood.
my uncle is making me watch Boys in the Hood when I was 2.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because my husband couldn't believe I had never seen Jews. I already know someone's gonna be like, "You're not black," but I'd never seen Jews.
Don't worry, there's a lot of things on my black card that I keep under wraps because I don't want nobody to say nothing.
Say it. I just shared one.
I haven't really seen Martin. Because I've seen all of the jokes, but I just don't know the context of the jokes because I haven't watched an episode. Because I was too young to like really understand when my parents were watching this. But by the time I got old, all these cartoons came out, and I was like, I don't need no real life. I just had
I don't need
cartoons
real
now.
life. Do you feel like you need real life now?
In little increments. Like I feel like there's a lot of things. Like animation is very cool and it's a good way to express imagination. But I feel
Yeah.
like reality is good in like certain like small increments and stuff.
Yeah, Reality Bites. That's a movie that I liked when I was a kid. That's for adults. That I shouldn't be watching. But that was one of them. I love Reality Bites. But trying to think of another one. Yeah, like Goodfellas, Carlito's Way. Um, Maybe I should try to think of kids stuff that I liked. Oh, even the stuff that I liked on like Disney Channel was like adult. Like I loved even Stevens because I loved
Oh, word.
Ren.
Did you watch like So Weird?
Yeah, I loved.
Yeah,
So
I was
Weird.
just watching that with a friend of mine.
Wait, it's streaming somewhere?
Yeah,
Disney
Disney Plus.
Plus?
Yeah. Like they got
Nice.
everything, even Goof Troop. And you know what was funny? I didn't see the connection until my brother was playing Kingdom Hearts, and they have like this old timey level where like all the characters are like old style, and I noticed that Pete had a tail, and I was like, he's a cat, isn't he? Because
Well, Mickey's a mouse.
yeah, and then Goofy's a dog. Like they beef sometimes, but they can still like cordially
Goofy's
talk.
a dog.
Yeah, bro, Goofy's a dog, and he's also black. So
Goofy's. How do you know he's black?
I don't argue with people. I just like
No, I'm genuinely. Did
I'm
you know Goofy was black?
News to me.
Did you know that Bert? Okay, I'm switching shows and networks. Sesame Street. Bert is Puerto Rican and Ernie is Dominican.
That honestly makes sense.
Why
That honestly
why
makes
does that
sense, yo.
elicit such laughter from you?
Be on the streets in New York and shit.
I learned that like some years back. It might not be true because I saw like a Puerto Rican person told me that.
No, that's actually kind of funny.
But so yeah, okay. Even Stevens, so weird. Do you remember the show on Disney Channel where they were like EMTs? No one ever knows what I'm talking about.
What?
It was called like In the Blink of an Eye, or
Ooh,
In a Heartbeat. It was
In a
called In a
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
Man, I can see like the intro in my head, but it's just like it's not like
It was like
clicking.
ER for little kids.
I feel like I remember that, man, because it's just the intro is like coming in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Nick, I just pretty much only liked Hey Arnold. And then Cartoon Network, I have a theory. I tell my husband this all the time. I'm like, just from what I observed at my elementary school, it was like Disney Channel kids, we were just like simple, like your regular run of the mill kid. Nickelodeon kids were like very silly, like very playful.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network kids were like dark. They had like a dark energy about them,
That
and
is
they were
me.
on Ritalin. Were you on Ritalin?
Yep.
See, I've never been wrong. Like everybody I know that's like, no, I love no disrespect, Ritalin's great, but every Cartoon Network kid I've known was like,
you got a point. Cartoon Network was like it was more from not I wouldn't say edgy cartoon kids.
It was edgy.
But but Nick had some edgy stuff too, like Ren and Stimpy and Invader Zim and stuff like that.
That was Invader Zim was Nick.
Yeah, Invader Zim is Nick.
Cartoon Network. What was Cat Dog?
Nick is, I got Sage watching Cat Dog the
I
other
kind of
day.
liked Cat Dog.
It was funny. Sage saw like Cat Dog, like the image, and he was like, "What's that?" Because he ain't never seen it before. And I was like, "It's Cat Dog," and he was like, "Why are they like
Why
attached
are
to each
they
other?" I'm like,
connected?
"Do you want to watch it?" He was like, "Yes."
They had a good theme song.
Oh yeah, they went off on the fucking theme song.
Yeah. But I only really watched Nick at Night.
Yo, Nick at Night was my shit too, cause like I don't know if you was one of those kids who like just didn't go to sleep like when you was supposed to.
I still
and
don't go to sleep.
Nah, bro, I would stay up until like at least I was like maybe 6 years old, staying up until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So when all the cartoons came off, Nick at Night came on, and then some Disney shows, like I know after 12 o'clock, they would play Zorro.
Yeah.
Man, they
You
would play.
just took me so far back. You just like unlocked like
I know you were saying of like Zorro was the only
they would
thing
play
that came
Zorro,
on.
or they would play if you stayed up. Now I don't know if you were up this late. They would play like old ass, not the Mickey Mouse Club, but like Britney Spears on it.
Oh yeah,
They would play like
the old
yes,
Mickey Mouse
like,
Club,
oh
bro.
my God,
the old
okay.
Mickey Mouse
Childhood
Club.
Insomniac Club. But no, there weren't very many rules for me growing up, which I think it's just because by the time I was born, my parents had already raised 5 other kids,
Yeah.
so they were just like, Then I didn't like cause trouble,
Right.
so they were just like, do whatever. So like, I never had a bedtime. No one ever like went behind me to check my homework or like anything like that.
Oh, you were lucky.
Like no one. It was just like whatever. Like so yeah, like I never slept, so I was watching like. I'll like try to tell Kevin about stuff and he'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, you never watched Gilligan's Island? He's like, no.
Gilligan's Island was on Nick at Night late.
Yes.
And I used to watch a lot of Different Strokes too. Like
That was the one, The
Different
Facts
Strokes-
of Life.
Yeah, The Facts of Life was my shit. And
Wait,
There's-
did you know, Steven, you might be interested in this too. Robin Thicke's parents wrote the theme songs for Different Strokes and The Facts of Life. And Robin Thicke's dad sings it. Alan Thicke is singing the theme song for Different Strokes.
yeah, well, no way.
And his mom sings the theme song for The Facts of Life.
What? I didn't know he sung the Different Strokes theme song.
I didn't
Dang.
even know Alan Thicke sang. That's another thing that came on Disney Channel late, Growing Pains.
Growing Pains, that's right. It was like I feel like Full House came on Disney Channel for a while too. Maybe
That was Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
I've never seen Full
I never
House.
seen Full House either, but apparently
It's
that's
too
why
white.
people shit.
Yeah, it's too white. I can't. Do you watch Roseanne?
Nah, I didn't really get into Roseanne. I think
you
the
watch
only I think the only like white show I got really like got
we
into.
just named Hello really white. Gilligan's Island is really white.
Damn. Well, within the past recent years, Seinfeld. But
Duh.
but you know what? I feel like I've been turning to my dad lately because my dad used to watch a lot of Seinfeld growing up. Like at 7 o'clock, it never fucking fails. He gets home from work like at 5, chills till 6, watches Seinfeld until for like about an hour at 7, and then basketball comes on at 8.
That was my parents. Was like they were super into Seinfeld, so I like already knew like Seinfeld references. But then Sebastian, who used to host the show with me, was like my only friend that like, because his parents loved it too. But then like all of my friends started watching it late because of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, because that's another show I need to watch. That's another show. That's another show I need to watch too.
You never seen it?
Curve. I've seen like maybe one. I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes, but it's funny.
Yeah, if you like Seinfeld, you'll like that. But okay, so you've never seen Martin. We've seen clips.
Yeah, I've seen clips.
So what do you think is better, Martin or Seinfeld?
I'm not going to pick one. I'm not. If I had to pick, I'm not.
And
gonna
it's not racial.
Yeah, I'm not going to say Seinfeld is funnier because I feel like Seinfeld and Martin are like 2 different types of funny.
But okay, people say this like Seinfeld is like highbrow, but I'm like it's really not though. It's really 4 bad people just doing bad things.
Yeah, it was like a 90s. It was like a 90s Always Sunny as Philadelphia.
But is Martin's kind of the same premise? No, I don't really know.
Well, let's see. 4 friends. 4 friends. Some are married. Yeah, I gotta like touch up on my Martin, man. I mean, I've seen like House Party like hella times.
I don't think I've ever seen House Party.
House Party is the shit.
It would depend because you're a couple of years older than me, so I'd have to ask my siblings because I just until you get to that age where you like form your own interests.
Right.
I just liked whatever they liked.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think any of them were really passionate about House Party. Otherwise, I would have liked it. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know. Martin to me is, I think Martin Lawrence is funny, but the show is not that funny to me.
Oh, okay. And they had like laugh tracks and shit back in there too.
Well, Seinfeld has laugh tracks.
Oh, okay.
Do you like Friends?
I mean, no. So, Will and Grace was the other show that I watched. And you know what's crazy? I didn't even know motherfuckers was gay. I was just watching this shit. I'm like, oh, this shit pretty funny. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't. So, okay, I had this thing when I was a kid, like, because it would be like all adults in the room and I didn't want to feel lame. I would just like laugh at whatever they laughed at. But it's not until I got grown and like went back and watched stuff that I'm like, oh, like I'm like that joke was really adult, like. But yeah, like Will and Grace. No one in my family watched Will and Grace. I would watch that at like my white friend's house, and I didn't know anyone was gay.
Ooh, what about Just Shoot Me?
Please.
With David Spade? Yes. Man, that was my shit, dude.
You were in the sitcom trenches. Just Shoot Me. Oh my god. I put that with like According to Jim.
Yeah, those are like one of those shows like I watched when I couldn't go to sleep.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Not more George Lopez than Everybody Loves Raymond.
I realized as I was doing it, I was like, it's gonna come off.
No, George. I was like, yo.
Steven's not even Mexican. That's not why I pointed at him. I pointed at him because I wanted to know how you felt about the show.
It was funny.
George Lopez?
I just watched it because I couldn't go to sleep. I don't remember anything. I remember they made fun of his head being big a lot.
Yeah, when he was like a kid, but honestly, most of that felt like a fever dream. I would just wake up at certain times and then just jump on the trampoline, and like I would just be like, "What?"
I don't remember.
It's like you ever seen like woke up like just like let's leave the TV on and you wake up and you're just like see just weird shit on you. You're just like, "What the fuck?"
I don't remember. I just remember falling asleep. I'd fall asleep and like Fresh Prince would be on, so it'd already be late. Because Nick at Night used to like show. Fresh Prince from like 11 p.m. till like 2 a.m.
Yeah, and then it would be like I think Family Matters after that.
No, it'd be George Oh, yeah, back in the day,
Yeah,
yes.
they play Family Matters
I need
too.
to say this right now. I love the Family Matters theme song.
Bro, it's so good.
Much.
It's so good.
I want to sing it right now, but I feel like they're going to sue me. It's a rare condition this day and age. I fucking love that song so much.
Do you know the whole thing or just like
I know every word of the song.
Oh. Nah, that was my shit because I don't know, Steve Urkel, hey, he was representation enough. He was like a nerdy black kid. I didn't see a lot of that, like, growing
You're not
up.
that nerd. You're not Urkel nerdy.
It's changed. Well, nah, it definitely.
You used to act like Steve Urkel.
Nah, it's never been that bad.
Okay.
I was very hyperactive, but I wasn't like super like nerdy. The only nerdy thing I think is like I liked a lot of music. But music nerds are different than like nerds.
Than regular nerds, yeah. I guess I didn't realize I was nerdy until I got to McKeecher, until I got to public school. Because in private school, we're all
Oh, yeah, I know
nerdy.
you went to private school.
Yeah, this is embarrassing. I was like a theater kid.
What, man? My friend currently was a theater kid in high school, and now she's trying to get her headshot so she can get in her shit. Like that shit. I mean, theater kids are cool, bro.
Now,
maybe the ones in the selected few in McKeecher, but
in high school I became a chorus kid.
Oh, okay.
And I desperately wanted to be in show choir, but I was terrified to dance in front of people. So I just was in advanced choir.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
But it was an easy transition from theater to choir. But yeah, growing up, I was really into musical theater.
So you fuck with musicals and shit? Hey man, I think the one musical I really fucked with was
Mamma Mia.
No, it was actually on some Broadway shit. But I do like Mamma Mia. Also there's some Disney films I fuck with. I saw in Encanto for the first time this year. They had some pretty good music up in there.
See, okay, the newer ones I don't even know.
But Rent and shit like that?
I do. I almost went into song when you said Rent. I almost started
What, the 600 something?
25,600. Yeah, I loved Rent. I loved... Oh my god, I'm about to get in my bag. Okay. My favorite musical is The Wizard of Oz movie. I also love West Side Story. I love The Sound of Music. I love Grease. I'm one of those people
My mom was a Grease head.
I love Grease. When they do the anniversary. First of all, rest in power, Olivia Newton-John. But when they do the anniversaries, I go to the movies and do the sing along.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Nobody knows. Well, now people know, but nobody knows.
Bro, that's so awesome though.
The last 3 relationships I've been in, they've been I've been are you coming? They're hell no, I'm not going to that shit. What the fuck? Yeah. So I loved musicals. I didn't realize I was nerdy though until I was told that in high school. Because I was what? I don't even wear glasses. I thought I was I don't wear glasses. I'm not I didn't talk a lot in high school.
I feel the word people confuse being nerds for being passionate and shit.
What are your thoughts?
Pretty good.
Are you a nerd?
Yeah, in certain ways, yeah.
What do you nerd out on?
Fucking weird ass shit. Weird shit.
I mean, this serial killers.
No, that's you and that's you and most women anyway. So a lot of, I don't know.
He's not a woman though. You said that most of y'all are like that.
No, but I've seen I've noticed the women that I talk to, they usually into that serial killer shit. I'm y'all the ones that I gotta watch out for.
No, there's a whole study that's because they did some survey and they were most people who are watching true crime are women. Overwhelmingly, 85% of the people who watch that content are women, and they're I don't know, the study or whatever to me was kind of sexist because it was trying to say these are the same women that are falling in writing
do
letters.
Do you use that as
do
y'all use true crime stuff as us and you just worst case scenario, if this were to happen to me, now I know
it has helped me when I've been in situations. Like, it's made me more on guard. I really just watch it because I think it's interesting.
Mm.
I think it's interesting because I feel like all of us are capable of doing that kind of stuff. We just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think all women should at least like have like a martial arts class, free of charge.
Yeah.
Or a knife.
I used to carry a knife. Now I have a taser. I don't leave the house anymore, so it's like, who am I gonna tase? I just like spark it. Who's your favorite serial killer? That's a controversial question. I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
I don't know if I have any. Like, I'm not really deep within the serial killers, but
Kevin's a Bundy guy.
I don't like the clown dude.
Gacy.
Yeah, I'm not really with that. He's not the reason why I don't fuck with clowns, but
He's the reason I don't fuck with clowns or crawl spaces.
I will tell you what favorite fictional serial killer I think is my favorite. Probably Jason.
Or is he considered a serial killer?
I mean, he's got a couple of bodies on him, yeah. So I think that he would be one.
So I also don't love. I know it's like a thing that like queers love horror movies. I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Word, I didn't know that.
I don't.
I'm not, so that makes sense.
I don't like horror movies. My husband loves horror movies. He like always wants. I don't. It's weird because like I'll watch something about a person in real life.
Yeah.
Who did shit, but I can't watch.
Well, mostly most horror movies just ain't good. Like they ain't got that like most of the horror movies that I've seen like haven't been like good like enough. Like I like the psychological like suspense type of shit. I don't like the jump scare like I'm gonna stab you type shit.
So like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, or like some supernatural shit. Like there's this one movie coming out called Smile, and like all the people like got like creepy looking smiles and shit.
Something that scares me. I can't like. That's why I don't like clowns. Like on Get Out, that scene where the black lady is like, no.
Yeah,
no.
where she starts laughing and
yeah,
shit.
like that scares the shit out of me. I don't like stuff like that.
Mm.
Do you like horror, Steven?
No.
Okay. Moving right along. Oh, I did like y'all. I feel like people that love horror movies are gonna be like, "Fuck her." There's a Halloween that has Busta Rhymes' entire main.
Halloween H2O. Yeah, I think that's the only one where the black people didn't die. Yeah, Busta Rhymes kicked his ass.
Yeah, like I really liked. I was obsessed with Busta Rhymes when I was little. He has like 5 songs on my inner child playlist. And that's it for horror. I don't like horror. I like mobster movies or like really silly comedies and musicals.
I like comedies, stoner comedies.
What's a stoner? Like Pineapple Express?
Yeah, like Friday and
tune
Half
in
Baked and
Okay.
like Dazed and Confused. I like some animated movies that ain't anime, like The Scanner Darkly and
That's like a smart people movie.
yeah, bro. But it looks visually, that shit looks so great. If I was tripping, I would be like, yo, this is my shit.
Animated movies that I love.
The most beautiful one I've seen visually, like when I was like on a tab, was Moana. That shit.
Is that the?
Yeah, she's like around the water. She controls the water and the what's this guy? Maui. Like the place, the rock, the rock.
I know the soundtrack. I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh, he has. I'm so shiny.
He has a song too, but I forgot.
I think
how it
it's
goes.
called. I think it's
You're
shiny.
welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Singing it the whole time. Anyway, I know the music. I think that's Moana because the guy that did Hamilton did the music. For,
Yeah.
He's Puerto Rican. I can't think of his name.
Oh, okay. It's not that girl Miranda guy, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. I knew his last name was Miranda, but I couldn't think of it. I should know, but I've left my theater days are long gone. Um,
I think my favorite like childhood movie I can watch like no matter like what time of day. I want to say it's kind of a classic one. Page Master.
what is that?
Page Master is this live action slash animated movie with Macaulay Culkin.
Please.
Bruh, blah, bro. Like, it's like he's like a kid and he goes to the library, like, you know, to find shelter because it's storming. And then he gets lost in the library and he gets chased by this fucking painting on the ceiling that turns into a dragon. And then when he gets hit by the dragon, everything just goes animated.
What year was this?
1994.
Yeah, no.
Like they had a video game for it and everything. Like if you can, I don't even know where they would have it, but Page Master, that shit was like.
It's giving Wizard of Oz though, because it's like something.
I
happens,
honestly with the
something happens and they're in another land.
it's kind of like real life. Something happens and then animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite Macaulay Culkin movie is. Have you seen Party Monster? This is grown man Macaulay Culkin.
Oh nah, then definitely no.
Do you know Michael Alec? Do you guys know? Okay, Michael Alec was like he discovered RuPaul. He was like who is somebody like him now? I guess he's like what you would call now an influencer. But this was like in the late 80s, early 90s. Mm-hmm. He was like a party promoter and like I think he maybe was a visual artist. Anyway, he like was also like heavily addicted to like heroin and ketamine and cocaine. And he was on like a 3-day drug binge or something. And they killed this drug dealer, cut him up, like threw him in the Hudson River. And then he proceeded to have like parties themed on murder. He was like giving interviews like I killed a guy, haha. Like it took them like 6 months for the police department to even look into it.
Oh my god.
And then he was in prison for like this actually gets really fucking weird. Okay, hold on, but I have like a nose thing happening. Okay. So he's in prison for like 25 years. He gets out. At this point in time, so Sebastian and I are like, I shouldn't say obsessed with Michael Alec because he's a murderer, but we like love the story. Mm-hmm. And they made a movie about it called Party Monster. Macaulay Culkin played him. It's so good. You have to watch it. I can't believe you've never seen it. It's so
older.
good.
This is older Macaulay.
He was Culkin. He was like, I want to say like maybe. Well, I don't know how old Macaulay Culkin.
He's okay. If I was born in '90, he's maybe like 6 or 8 years older than me. Maybe even 10.
So then I guess this movie came out in maybe like 01. So I guess he was like 23 perhaps.
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna have to peep it. Isn't it like on Netflix or something?
I don't know. I illegally watch stuff, so I don't know where anything is legitimately.
Oh, okay.
But it's so good.
I'll find it.
And there's a book called. It used to be called something else, but after the movie came out, they changed the name of the book to Party Monster. But it's so good. So, but anyway, Michael Alec gets out of prison, and I find him on Instagram. Okay. This is like, I've already started the podcast. This is when I still had a co-host. And I message him, and he messages me back. And we talked for like a month. Like,
oh, shit.
I was like, I want to have you on my show, but I'm kind of scared. And it was like one time it was like 4 a.m. and he FaceTimed me. I didn't answer it because I was scared. Because I was like, you're famous, but like, not for the right reason.
Right.
Like, I was like, this is weird, and it's 4 a.m. Why are you calling me? Like, so anyway, he died like two or 3 years ago.
Damn. Any call like after like 4 a.m. isn't probably good though.
Well, I was thinking then, I was like, drugs are involved.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I don't even know how we got. Oh, Macaulay Culkin. But that's my favorite Macaulay Culkin movie.
Okay.
He's not even my favorite Culkin.
Is it the younger one?
Kieran. Yes.
Home Alone 2 is the best one. Home Alone.
I've never seen any Home Alones.
Start with 1, then 2 and 3, and
Well, that's how
4. You know,
watch a
4 you don't really
movie.
need. You don't need 4, but like definitely
There's
the first
4
3.
Home Alone movies.
There's probably 5, but the first 3 are the ones that matter.
All with Macaulay Culkin?
First 2. Second one is with the kid from Max Keeble's Big Move. That's another movie. That's another childhood movie. That was my shit. And it made me so mad because I always wanted to get into a food fight at school, but it never happened.
No, I'm always saying that because this is going to sound very elitist, but when I was a kid and I would watch shows and stuff and food fights would happen, I'd be like, oh, that must be a public school thing. Because I was like, none of us would ever do that. Got to McKeecher and I'm like, it's the food fight. Like,
nah,
there's got to be a food fight.
I wish.
Never.
Like
I've
there was
never
a
seen
big.
fight.
They made that thing a big thing in the 90s and 80s, like food fights. But
Food
I'm like,
fight.
hey, but one day I'm gonna rent out a fucking cafeteria and I'm just get a bunch of food. And I'm
How are
like,
you gonna rent out a cafeteria?
and I'm gonna get the money, man. I'm gonna.
But like at school.
I'm gonna get some type of clothes like rental place, and we're just gonna be like we just gonna be eating, just casually eating, and I'm gonna just chuck something, and it's like
No, you have to do the movie food fight yell.
food fight,
Food fight, and then there's always like a principal who's like shutting it down.
I
He's
feel
like,
like
gather
a
gather
food fight
on,
for
nothing
fun
to see here.
sounds really
Nothing to
like,
see here.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Did you ever watch Saved by the Bell?
Oh yeah, like every morning when I got before school
Yes.
because that's how early I got up for like school
You
because
had to get
Captain
up at 6
Planet.
a.m.
Yeah, because Captain Planet was on right before that.
I loved Saved by the Bell. I had a really big crush on Zach. I still have a crush on Zach Morris.
They were very stylish. Like they
Yeah.
had some designs, bro.
Yeah. Oh my god. I just remembered Screech died.
Oh yeah, Screech did pass away.
Oh, Steven's young. Do you know what we're talking about?
Screech is what? That's Dustin, whatever his name
Dustin
is.
Diamond. Yeah.
Oh, so you know you still care.
The nerd.
Yeah, he was the nerdy one, and then Kelly Kapowski was like the pretty.
I think
popular one.
she was my first introduction to like brunette white girls. Cause I don't really
Okay.
fuck with blondes like that, but like her and the Pink Ranger was like my first like crushes.
Me and Kevin were talking about this the other day. Power Ranger crushes. I was like, I liked the red one, and he was like, "Of course you did." He was Hispanic. I was like, I don't even think that guy was Hispanic.
I think he was native.
I think he just had a ponytail. Yeah, I was like, I think
the ponytail
he
was
just
Tommy. I think he was the
Oh,
Green Ranger. He was the Green
That's
Ranger.
the one that I liked. The one with the ponytail.
Oh yeah, the White Ranger, the Green Ranger,
Then who was? But there was like an ethnic one that I was like,
the Black Ranger. No. Then it was the Red Ranger because he was like Native American.
okay, that's really racist. I'm just putting.
I
all that
mean,
together.
the only ones that like really like fit the Power Rangers mode was the blue and the pink one. Everybody else was like their.
But the pink one was a girl, and that's sexist.
and the boy one was a guy, so that's just as sexist. Maybe they should have like a Power Rangers where they switch all the characters.
So you're
colors.
telling me, guys, I didn't have a childhood. Okay, you're telling me that the black Power Ranger was a
the
black
black
man.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
red Power Ranger was
a
indigenous.
native. Native. The yellow one was Asian,
Oh my Jesus.
and blue and pink, boy and girl.
So then, wait, I'm trying to remember who's, because I didn't watch the Power Rangers. It would just be on like in after what we called aftercare, but in Georgia they say ASP.
Yeah.
Like it would just be on, and I would just kind of be like, this shit is stupid. But I remember being like, oh, he's cute. But it was like a guy with a ponytail. I don't even remember his face. I just remember he had a ponytail.
Yeah, I think that was Tommy.
I wish I don't have a phone. Google it.
Everybody fucks with Tommy.
You're saying that like you dated a girl who likes Tommy.
No, but like it was funny because he was supposed to be like the villain, but he ended up being like joining their team.
Are they all Power Rangers?
Yeah, they're all Power Rangers, but like one of the evil like villains like made their own Power Ranger out of somebody, turned them evil. He was like, nah, I ain't with that.
I'm really tired.
Bro, it's a whole like lore of Power Rangers and shit. Like they got like 10, 15 seasons of like different ones, not the same one.
What? I don't even know what channel that came on.
Fox Kids? Like Fox?
Fox Kids.
Yeah, that was honestly like my Power Rangers was how I got into like a lot of trouble in preschools because like you know how they be fighting and shit, and I kicked a kid in the chest like in like like pre-K, and I ended up getting kicked out.
You kicked a child in
Yeah,
the
bro,
chest?
we were playing Power Rangers and he was like like they be kicking and punching and stuff, so I was kicking and punching.
Oh my god.
But trust me, I think my son has like a lot more poise than I do. So
Yeah, I can't see Sage. Plus, his name is Sage. Your name is Sage. You can't be violent.
Oh, but he tries. He is as sweet as he is a menace, but that's my man though.
I can see in his eyes like some mischief, but
Oh yeah, but he's the sweetest kid though. But
yeah,
he's usually up to something.
I just like, no, I can't see him kicking someone in the chest. I was a biter.
Oh yeah.
You made a face like this.
No, I was a spitter. So I mean,
You spit on people?
I would just be like just raspberries and stuff.
Is that where the Ritalin came in?
Yeah, but even after that, my parents took me off of it after I was like maybe in fourth grade. And I just they was just like, well, just do what you need to do.
My nephew was on one of those. My nephews were Cartoon Network kids. This is where I did most of my research. But one of my nephews was on it. But yeah, we just took him. Well, not me. I was a kid too. The adults took him off because he would turn into a different. He would be like, is anyone in there?
Yeah, that's how I was.
Because it would dial him too far down.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I've tried to take it recreationally, it does the same thing.
Tiny little white or yellow pill with a circle.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Oh, it's so fucked up. But wait, there was something I wanted to get back to. Oh, me biting. Yeah, not in elementary school. This was preschool.
Mm.
I was biting kids, and no, I'm lying. The last time I bit a kid was third grade.
I think the last time I even raspberried was probably preschool because I remember this girl fucking scratched the shit out of my head and fucking left a scar there. So I'm like this, it's still there to this day.
So you spit on her?
No, this is probably I spit and she scratched me. It was probably a cause and effect thing, and that's probably why I don't try women like that, because because in my head I'm not. I remember how shitty that felt, so I'm I ain't trying to feel that again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, just being decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bit kids for really. I had a really bad biting problem, and then I don't know what that says about me. I didn't even know that was a thing until. Do you remember that that picture of Cardi B when she's a little kid?
Yeah, she looks like everybody says she looks like a biter.
They were she looks like one of those kids that bit people. I was I bit people. What does that mean? Do your kids bite? Mm-hmm. Does Sage bite?
No, he don't bite. He'll spit and annoy you, but he don't be biting.
Is this a behavioral thing? Biting?
Maybe so, but I mean, they say most things are behavioral stuff. You know
what
I'm
if
saying?
my kid is biting kids?
I mean, well, it's crazy because when you do have your own kid, it's all the things that you thought that you thought your parents were doing for you, you just kind of just take that out of your head and you do what you feel is right. Because I don't be Sage.
Great.
I know,
job.
but no, but it's funny because the times when I tried to pop him, he just laughed. So I'm just okay, I'm not gonna do that again because obviously it doesn't work.
I feel an older person would hear you say that and think it's a bad thing, because with my nephews that are younger,
mm-hmm.
they can't figure out they know that their other aunts and uncles are adults,
yeah.
But with me, they can't figure out what I am to them or how old I am.
Oh, okay.
Because it's I think it's a kid thing where they're we know she's grown, but then the grown people are treating her like she's young,
Yeah.
and she plays with us differently.
Yeah, they don't get like the age like dynamic.
Yeah, so it's like both of them have been like, "Are you my sister?" And I'm like, "No." They're like, "Are you my cousin?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"No." And they're like, What's going on here?" But I'm saying all that to say, like, I don't ever assert dominance with children.
Yeah.
And I've had like my siblings be like, "You need to be telling them," and I'm like, I don't even plan on doing that with my own kid.
Yeah, like there. Not that I didn't have like a place of like self expression, but it was like it was like hard to talk to my parents, you know, just because I didn't feel like I wanted to like let them down or nothing. But I don't want, and I want to create like a safer space for like my son, because you can come to me. I want him to come to me about anything. Like you ain't got to be ashamed, or I'm not gonna be as mad as you think I'm gonna be. I would rather you just tell me, because some of the stuff, you know, I'm still, you know, dealing with my dad, because we used to be like, you know, not as close, but now, you know, especially since like when Sage was born, we've been a lot closer, and he's like, you know, covered some ground with like issues with his dad, so, you know, doing that, it made like our relationship better.
Yeah.
And like it's gonna just carry the cycle on and on.
Yeah, that's so great, because I like bought this book. I actually bought 2 copies. It was like, it's basically like you ask, it has like prompts. So like you ask, it's called My Grandfather's Life. So my dad is 73. So like, and Kevin's dad was like 64. So like realistically, I felt like by the time our kids got older, like their grandparents probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So I was like, this will be cool. But his dad unfortunately passed away before we could get the book over to him. But in filling it out with my dad, I've been like, oh, you like never had the tools. Like you're 73 and you haven't processed your parents' divorce. So it got kind of depressing. So I just stopped filling the book out, because I was like,
and that's how a lot of like when as I got older, I've started to realize like my parents only raised me because of like they were just trying to raise me how like their parents raised them. Yeah. So, but with me, I think I was gonna like do things like a lot differently and stuff like that. So it's just been like a lot more. I'm stern, but I'm also like, you know, open book.
Yeah.
You know?
With me, it's like, I'd say with my parents, sorry, family members, y'all are probably gonna be mad, but my parents unintentionally neglected me. Like they definitely didn't do it for a long time. I felt like years of therapy made me realize it was not unintentional.
Yeah.
But I do think it was just kind of like, because I was never like a disciplinary problem at school.
Yeah.
I was really like an overachiever. And then I was like really active with like horseback riding and musical theater and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, oh, we trust her. Like she won't do anything. But it made me like kind of feel isolated.
No.
And kind of like no one cares about me.
Yeah.
Like that's how I took that as a kid.
Yeah.
Now I know it wasn't that.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And a lot of that I think a lot of people, especially like parents and grandparents, are going through the same thing, because like they didn't have the resources that we had. Like they didn't have like,
right.
Especially, you know, mental health is like such a stigma in the Black community anyway. It's just like they just call you crazy, and they just
brown too.
And brown too, and they just gonna call you crazy. You know, they just gonna go by that. Or if you're a bad kid, you're a bad kid.
Yeah.
But
I don't even like calling kids bad, because I remember like my nephews. I remember it would be people like, they bad as hell, or like just like kids at school would be like, oh, they're bad, and I'm like, I don't even like that terminology. Like
a lot of that stuff stems from the parents too. Like if they shit at home, then they probably learned that from somebody.
Yeah. There's a Key and Peele sketch where they like, have you seen it, where he's like bullying him and he's like, why are you doing this to me? And he's like, because.
Oh, you said because.
He's like, I'm internalizing my father's anger and taking it out on you. And then his dad pulls
like,
up.
Get your ass in this car, boy, so I can hit you because you remind me of your mama.
God, I'm so glad somebody else in the world has seen that. I love Key and Peele, but yeah, no, I think a lot of that happens, and like in like having, I didn't get to have these kind of conversations with my mom, but with my dad, and even with my siblings, because my siblings raised me too. Like in having conversations with them, it's just like I hit a wall at a certain point because it's like I'm just like, for lack of a better phrase, like cut from a different cloth.
Yeah, I
It's like
feel you.
my worldview is just different from
Yeah,
my
I
family.
get you.
So I just don't.
But I will say if you really want to know like how you were as a child or anything like that, definitely like talk to the people that raised you and
Oh no,
shit.
I know that. I
That's
know that. I meant more like from the standpoint of like what I'm going to be like. Okay, because here's the thing too is like I never was in a relationship with somebody that I felt safe enough to have a kid with. Because guys, like a certain kind of guy do that thing like, I'm gonna get you pregnant,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be like, ah, but I was always like, what? No, please, like, please don't get me pregnant. But like now, like, being married and stuff, it's like we talk about that, and so I have to think like, what am I gonna do in this situation? What am I gonna do in this situation? And I don't think a lot of people are asking themselves those questions, and that's why at 2 a.m. sometimes I'm up reading Facebook arguments between like somebody's baby mama and somebody's other baby mama, and they're like, that's why you be beating them kids when they hungry. And I'm like, cause see, y'all weren't asking the questions, cause your mom didn't ask questions, and her mom didn't ask questions.
Yeah. And be the best parent you think you should be. You ain't nobody gonna tell you how to be a parent until you get your
Yeah,
own.
so you're fuck. That's scary.
A lot of those things is like it is scary, but it's like one of those things where you'll never know until this shit happens.
Until it's there, and then or there.
I mean, I've been a
He, she,
dad.
they
I've
don't
been
okay.
a dad for like 4 years, so it's like definitely like a learning experience.
Steven?
Yeah, true. You make mistakes and you just build on from there.
But you can't. I would say don't be hard on yourself when you make mistakes because like our parents made mistakes too, obviously. So
I'm just terrified because I'm like, what if, it's like,
the
I don't
worst,
know.
possibly the worst case scenarios, and you're just
what if
like,
I drop
okay.
it?
Hey man.
That could happen.
Hey,
What if it breaks?
you want to know something funny?
You dropped Sage?
The first Father's Day, the very first Father's Day I had with him, he was sitting on the bed, and me and Troy were just, chilling, talking. Falls off the bed, hit like boom, hits his head. Like it wasn't like hard, but it was like enough to like make him upset, and we didn't know what to do, so we like drove him to the hospital and everything. Like Tori's freaking out and everything, but he was fine. But I was just like, wow, my first fucking Father's Day, had to take him to the hospital. I was like, wow.
At least you took him to the hospital.
But I think
Back
he was
in my day,
he
it
was
would've
just
just
really
been
he
like,
was just
"Oh."
really upset and just like wouldn't stop crying. But he was probably just shocked because like I feel like because now he's made harder slams than like all the
Are
time.
you to like stay on top of that?
No, yeah, he is, but he's a boy, man. He's just like give and go. But yeah, you can't like be hard on yourself when like you make mistakes because being a parent is just trial and error, just like everything else.
Yeah, but it's like a different trial and error when it's like, it seems like one false move and your kid is like. Have you ever watched Intervention?
Yeah, actually.
It seems like one false move and you're on there.
Boy, I believe honestly, since you're in the position that you're in and like having the mindset you have, I feel like don't let your fear like cloud you from like what you like know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know like I feel like you're gonna be a good mama. So
Thanks.
yeah,
I don't hear that a lot. He said it'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah, but I feel like you would be a good. I know, but I feel like it would be interesting. Even you, I feel like you would be a good mom though, because just how, like, even for, like, I feel like it says a lot for like the parents for like how much they love their moms is how they gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you get all of the stuff that you got from your
And
mom.
I
You gonna
learned
pass
a
that
lot
to her.
from. That's why I'm always so careful when I'm talking about my parents, um, even before my mom passed away, is because like a lot of it is just like cultural black stuff, and
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I didn't grow up with. I grew up with like three other black people, and we weren't that close, so I didn't know that until much later. And then, like you said, now with social media, it's like you see so many people talking about stuff, and I'm like, that happened to me too, and
Yeah.
everyone was saying it was normal. Like no one was saying it was weird. Um, but I'm like determined to like not be that kind of parent because I don't want my kids to resent me.
Heal, bro. No, like that's all. That's for real. What you gotta do, like you
Very,
gotta heal
very.
your, like heal yourself. And it's like what I just dropped a song like a few days ago saying like I can't expect my son to be his best friend like I'm not myself.
Facts.
So yeah, I gotta make sure I'm good on my shit so like he can be good on his and I can set him up for success.
That's why I'm so big on like going back, like, because I'm always like, no one's going back for your inner child except you. And if you don't, you know how RuPaul's like, if you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else?
Yeah,
If you don't love your baby self, how are you gonna love the baby?
yeah,
Like, if you felt unlovable as a child, you can't love your child because that's you.
yeah, man. I know for a damn fact like 12-year-old me, 22-year-old me would look at me now and just be like, "Oh, this is where the life that we live in now. Okay, this ain't too bad."
Oh, I thought you meant that like, so this is what we doing? Like,
No, like I feel like they would be like impressed and just be like, "Oh, sweet."
I don't know what little me would think of me now. I feel like she would be like, wow, you got married. I feel like that would surprise her. She'd be like, okay, you're married. You're not on Broadway. I like if you'd asked me when I was little, I would think I was gonna be like on Broadway, which is so fucking weird. When I think about that, I'm like, no, like that's so not me now. What about you, Steven?
What?
What would little Steven think about Big Steven?
He'd be proud, but also would feel like he still got stuff to work on.
Yeah, Quay, you can't. We're on video.
Oh, sorry. Just texting my baby mama's. She's worried.
That's fine, but you know, you've been an integral part of the show,
Oh man, and I
and
love
thank you for always supporting me.
Of course, yo.
And you inspire me too. Like you and all my friends like inspire me. Even the ones who aren't shit. Because they're all like doing something.
And I feel like honestly, to me, that's the overall goal. I want everybody in my circle to be following their dreams, so we can all like get to the next like
Yeah.
part together.
Yeah. So where can we find you? I heard you. Wait, because I heard you be tweeting some crazy shit. I've heard that from like 4 people.
Who did you hear from?
I can't.
And I probably do be tweeting some crazy shit, but I don't even be giving a fuck.
I just heard you're a totally different person on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I'm more chaotic on Twitter, but if you want to follow me, I'm on Ray Quaza, like on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you want to follow my music page, it's 2 underscores and YAUQ on Instagram.
Okay. Stay on top of your mental health. Thank you for supporting me for 4 years, 5 seasons. I don't like looking right in the camera. Don't take any wooden nickels. Quay, it was a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Michelle. Thank you for having me.
Namaste. I don't even talk like that. I don't know why I just said that. But yeah, toodles.